Good morning, everyone. The viewers, listeners in the diaspora right here in St. Lucia, I thank you and welcome you all to this platform. My name is Mrs. Leanna Johannes-Paul, the endorsed candidate for Vieux Fort South. St. Lucia, our nation is in crisis. Our nation is recording the highest rate of murders in its history, and the government has failed to act. Every day, we hear about another murder, another assault, another robbery, and yet another act of violence. Every day, we see the glass from cars, homes, and store windows shattered by thieves and criminals. We see the broken bodies of crime victims and the broken hearts of our neighbors as they cry out, "When, dear Lord, will this violence end?" St. Lucia, I ask the question, when will this violence end? Only a few months ago, my community of Vieux Fort South was filled with death and gun violence. We had young men being killed in the streets, mothers murdered in their homes, and even toddlers being shot in the safety of their beds. Our streets are crying. We're fed up with hearing about murder after murder in St. Lucia. Each day, the streets grow more dangerous. Our homes no longer offer the comfort and protection they once did. And for our women, there is nowhere left to turn. Too many of our mothers, daughters, sisters, and yes, our sons and fathers too, are living in fear. Not fear of strangers, but rather of the very people they once trusted the most. I say it is time we confront the domestic violence issue with urgency, honesty, and action. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I am a survivor of domestic abuse, so I know firsthand how men, women, and families of victims feel and what they go through. The brutal killing of Alicia Hunt is not just a tragedy. It is a damning indictment of a government that has neglected its duty to protect its people. Alicia died with nowhere to go, no shelter, no support system, no system at all in place to help her escape violence. The island's only women's shelter remained closed, and the Minister for Gender Affairs remains silent. Silent while women are being beaten, stalked, raped, and murdered. Silent while families grieve and communities crumble. This silence speaks volumes. I am only able to stand here today because of a women's shelter who cared for me and nurtured me. You see, when I was stabbed and left for dead, I had a place to run to, a safe haven, a place of safety. People to help me? Who do the women in St. Lucia have? Absolutely no one. Who will help them? Who will counsel them? Why do they have to go from place to place trying to hide from their perpetrators? We are tired. Indeed, we are tired. Tired of crying out and being ignored. Tired of burying our women. Tired of hearing empty promises while violence grows unchecked. Women are afraid to go to work. They are afraid to walk the streets. They are afraid to come home at nights. According to our Domestic Act 11 of 2022, domestic violence includes not only physical and sexual abuse, but also emotional, psychological, and economic abuse. This law empowers victims to seek protection orders, occupation orders, and legal redress. But I ask you today, is it working? Because while the law exists on paper, too many victims are still suffering in silence. They go to the police only to be interrogated in ways that re-traumatizes them. Women are forced to relieve their pain their terror, their humiliation, again and again, as though seeking to help is a crime. I went through that as well. Many give up. Many turn to the same abusive homes. Many never leave at all. And when they do muster the courage to leave, where do they go to? That is the big question. We have no adequate shelters, no widespread counseling services, no well-funded victim support systems. It is as though we ask people to walk through fire and then abandon them halfway. This is wrong. St. Lucia is not safe, and until our leaders, especially the women in Parliament, find the courage to speak out and act, more lives will be lost. We've been waiting for this government to act, but nothing gets done and the crime wave continues. This failed Labour government has not stopped the robberies, the beatings, murders and gang violence. This failed Labour government has not secured our border or stopped the illegal importation of deadly guns. This failed Labour government has not protected us. Do you and your family feel safe when you go out? I don't. Are you worried about getting caught in the crossfire of gunfight? I am. Are you worried that the child you hugged in the morning might not come back in the afternoon? We can't stand another day of Labour's excuses for not stopping the crime wave. We need results, not promises, actions and not words. The cost of inaction is a price we cannot afford. A population living in fear instead of happiness, the loss of lives and livelihoods, and the destruction of our tourism industry, resulting in lost jobs and income. We demand real action, real resources, and real protection. Our women deserve better. Our people deserve better. St. Lucia deserves better. Any normal government would be ashamed of St. Lucia's crime rates and take action, but not this Labour government. Labour forgets our people, ignores their cries, and remains coldly indifferent to their calls for help. My friends, the Labour government has failed to grow our economy, failed to lower prices of bread, gas, and bus fares, failed to improve healthcare, and failed to stop government corruption. Why then should we be surprised that they have ignored crime across the island? Why? Lucians are suffering the consequences of Labour's failed leadership, and it's time for a change. While our women in Parliament stand by and ignore the allegations of sexual misconduct that exist in the highest ranks of the police force, and while they praise a government minister who every week goes on national television to insult, denigrate, and threaten the women of St. Lucia, I will not stand by. I will be a voice for reform of how victims are treated, starting with the police and the courts. 1. Funding real shelters and safe houses for those who are fleeing abuse. 2. Free accessible counseling for victims, women and men. 3. The rights of fathers who are unjustly cut off from their children. 4. Training our teachers, nurses, social workers, and police to recognize the signs and to respond with compassion and not cruelty. This is not about politics. This is about our people. This is about healing a broken nation, one home at a time. This is about justice. This is about peace. This is about St. Lucia. Let us rise to the challenge, my people. Let us stand with the victims. Let us protect our children. We will rather be not silent while our women die. Enough is enough. I thank you.